Hey, this is Jessie and Nichols, George, and I'm coming to you today from a great little area called Manhattan Beach, California. And yes, it's still a little bit chilly in the shade. It's not too bad in the sun out here today, but we are just past New Year's into 2015, and this is a really fun, special place for me to be right now because I'm standing in a place that I used to play tons and tons as a child. I actually grew up about a block away from here. So it's really fun to be back in this particular space, and there's a lot of very interesting energy here. Now, why on earth would I come back to this space when everything in life is about moving forward right now, right? We're in a new year, we should be moving forward, we should be going ahead with things. But, you know, this tree that's right here behind me, as you can see, and it's huge, it's got these huge limbs that reach out, that's it, all the way through there. Brings back some amazing times and amazing memories, and it goes all the way out this way as well. And just to give you an idea, going up, yep. And so it's fun to be back here because this tree holds a very special place in my heart. This particular tree is very appropriate to what I want to discuss today for New Year's, or for this month's theme for New Year's, and that's about seeds, because seeds relate to our New Year's resolution. Now, what's so special about this tree is I actually grew this tree from seed. That's right. And many years ago, I was in the Girl Scouts, and I was one of those Girl Scouts that did not get the little tree seedling when they were doing a tree earth project, and I got seeds. And my tree was, I think, the only one that actually survived. And why is this so important? Because this time of year, what we do is we actually will make a lot of New Year's resolutions, or at least people will. They set their goals, they set their intent for the year. And of course, a lot of people don't meet those, and there's a whole ton of reasons behind why that does or doesn't work. However, even though those seeds maybe don't come to fruition, they are seeds. And our thoughts, our intentions, our thinking about goals and resolutions are just that, they're seeds. And what happens is most people don't water those seeds. They don't nurture them, they don't care for them, they don't grow them. And it comes on many different levels. When we look at the seeds in our life, and we look at the seeds of what we're growing and what we're creating along the way, it takes water, it takes nourishment, it takes food, it takes sunlight, it takes being out around people, it takes love. And I truly believe that love is a big reason why this tree is standing here today, because I started this little tree out not only as a seed, but it started in a milk carton many years ago, and we grew and we kept transplanting it to give it more and more room to grow. And that is what we have to do when we have goals that we're doing, when we have things that we're working on. We have to keep transplanting it in a way that gives it more and more room to grow for us. And then eventually it got to a point where the tree was going to be too big for the space that I had. And I thought, man, this tree has given me so much joy and so much pleasure along the way. And what better thing could I do than to donate it to one of the favorite places that I played, and allowed a lot of other people to join it and to come in and enjoy its energy and its fun, and to have something to play on. And that's exactly what I did. This park was under renovation at the time. It used to be a swamp here, believe it or not, a swamp full of pollywogs, which is part of how it got its name originally. And yes, I got very dirty when I was a kid, playing around in mud and things like that. But you know, when I come back and I see this, and here it is, there's all these families here that are enjoying something that I grew by seed. And I think that this is a big key. Just like the tree needs nourishment, and it needs health, and it needs love, and it needs room to grow, so do our resolutions, so do our goals, so do the things that we put our intent on. Because if you have a seed and you don't take action on it, if you have a thought, which is a seed, and you don't take action on it, that thought is still in existence, and it's going to grow and it's going to fester in its own way. But when we give it the love, and we give it the nourishment, and we give it everything that it needs to keep developing, then it's going to keep on growing, and it's going to develop into these amazing creations. Now, I really can't believe this. It's really fun to be standing back here under this tree. It reminds me of that old story, The Giving Tree, and here it is, still here, and its little limbs were shaking when I came up, which is really fun to enjoy and experience, and to watch this growth and how it branched unusually for a pine tree. A lot of pine trees grow up straight, and a lot of the pine trees are like that, but this particular tree seems to have a lot of vortex energy, and I can't help to think that that was something that I perhaps put into it. And sometimes we just don't get to see the results for a while, and we have to come back and revisit things. And when we're in winter, we need to go back and revisit things and say, look at how they've grown. This is amazing. Here it stands some 40 years later, maybe 42 years, I don't know, something like that, years later, and here it is all developed out into this amazing creation. And like I said, it's so fun to come back and see the families enjoying it and people enjoying it after all of this time. And a lot of times we don't notice the growth when we're right on top of it. And that is also true when we are developing ideas and creations out into the world. We don't always know exactly, okay, where's it going to go and how much is it going to develop? And we don't always see the growth in the middle of it. But when we reflect back and we look at where we started, I mean, I can even do that with some of my radio shows or things, and I look back at where I started, and it was truly, truly amazing, the differences in the growth that's happened even in a couple of years. So I can only imagine, if I give it as much time as the rest of this, where it's going to be. But I wanted to talk with you about that, because this is why a lot of resolutions don't work out for people along the way, is because they leave it just as a seed. And if you leave it just as a seed, that's pretty much where it stays, other than it can create this unfinished energy for you. So when you get those thoughts, you know, it's okay if you don't fulfill them, if you choose not to go forward with them. However, make sure you bring that to a completion so they're not sitting out there as unfinished energy. And I think that that is the big piece when we're looking at this time of year, because even though normally our seed planting time is in the spring and in the fall, the new year is its own seed planting time, because it is planting seeds of thoughts in there. And those thoughts are going to be where our year goes, because oftentimes we'll look back and we'll go, I don't know why this is happening. Well, you look back and you go, oh, I had this thought that I was going to do this and I didn't complete it during the year. So if you find yourself not completing something and you say, hey, I don't want to finish through, I've decided to go another direction, that's great. Honor the thought, close it out so it doesn't stay there as incomplete energy. Because what happens is, if we leave a bunch of things out there as incomplete energy, then we start to get into a pattern, and things that we really are looking forward to having in our life, that we really want to grow and create, end up unfinished. And that's not a good place to be, is it? Then you sit there going, why is it not finishing? Why am I not getting what I need? Why am I not getting the assistance? Why aren't things coming through? Well, take the time to honor and complete those cycles off. And it's such a pleasure to be here. And if you're ever in Manhattan Beach and you get a chance to stop by Pollywog Park, this is my tree. It's sitting on a little mound here. You'll notice it again. It's branched way out there in amazing, amazing ways. And it's been a pleasure to be here with you. Have a great month and very happy new year to you. And if you'd like to find out more about my work, you can certainly do so at Jessie Ann Nichols George, the number 1.com. Again, that's Jessie Ann Nichols George, the number 1.com. Take care.